Hi, this is Lava Elastic. Um, I am Sarah Saeed. Um, I'm a very blue version of Sarah Saeed today, just for a change. Um, Welcome to the show. I don't know if any of you are out there even yet. I don't know if any of you are out there. Um, Lava Elastic is a comedy night that I'm going to describe a little bit of science. Um, a little bit of a sciencey bit. If anybody's just joined us, hi, this is Lava Elastic. I'm not going to repeat that a million times as people keep joining us. Otherwise, I'm just going to be in a loop forever of telling you that this is Lava Elastic and it's a neurodiverse comedy night. Um, I'm Sarah Saeed. I'm the regular host of this shindig. Um, it's a really funny word, isn't it? Shindig. I've not fully worked out what the word means yet. I personally really like words. I don't know if the rest of you out there are wordy people, but in my mind, the word shindig kind of suggests that people are dancing, but then what? They kind of step on each other's toes, or they accidentally kick each other in the shins, or it's a really weirdly visual word. And there's people saying hello. Hi, lovely people. Thanks for joining us. For anybody that is new to us, welcome to watching Lava Elastic for the first time. There are other acts on in a bit. There's not just a blue woman waffling about words and lights, and I still haven't come to my explanation of what neurodiversity is, but I don't want to repeat myself, so I'm going to wait till there's a few more people to explain what it is. Um, and This blue is very distracting, isn't it? I'm in space. That's what it is. Should we say that? Or underwater. So, neurodiversity. I'm just going to go for it. There's kind of a recent theory in the last few years, let's say, that human beings are kind of mixed neurology, where a mixture of different kinds of brains. So once upon a time, they thought that people were either normal and they were weird, and that was it. And there was nothing in between. And now there is actually there's a theory that makes much more sense to me and other people, and it is that there are different kinds of brains. So I personally, I'm somebody with a different kind of brain. I got a late diagnosis of Asperger's. We could talk about the difference between things like autism and Asperger's until the cows come home. We're not going to do that. It's a comedy show. I'm not going to do that. There's podcasts for that stuff. In fact, I might discuss it on a video at some point, but I could talk about it for days. So I'm not going to do it here. So I got a late diagnosis of Asperger's, and I also have a non-diagnosis of ADHD, but I am it with bells on. Anybody that knows about it, if you know me, you know I am. And if you don't know me, I still am. Anyway, so the mixture of brains also means that some of the performers that are on tonight and at different nights, they might be dyslexic, they might be dyspraxic, they might not be any of these things. They might actually be what they call neurotypical, which is what they once upon a time called a normal brain. I don't really dig the word normal in any context because we're humans and we're just different, and that's it. That's my opinion, in my humble opinion. We're just all different. That's it. And the great thing about Lava Elastic is that we've just got a mixed bag of humans doing some funny stuff. Sometimes we have poets on. Sometimes we have funny poets on. We don't have any poets tonight, but you get my point. So I, as the host of the night, I personally have a thing about lights. That's just something to know about me. I have chosen a light tonight that makes me look particularly blue. So I'm a cross between tonight. I'm modelling a lighting theme that's like a cross between a Smurf and one of the Avatar blue people. So it's a look, with a little bit of like flecks every now and then of lime green sort of laser. I mean, they're meant to be stars. It's technically a space projector. Anyway, so it just looks like lime green chicken pox to me, laser chicken pox. I like lights in general. I'm going to talk about that more later. What I'm going to do first is we're going to get on with the night. One of the things you'll notice about me with my ADHD, and anyone else that's got it, you're going to relate to this, is I can't stop talking. I've just done it, so I've just contradicted myself. And to prove my point, though, the contradiction, I'm stopping now. I'm going to introduce you to Sarah Johnson, Sarah J, and she is the lady who is the other half of helping run the night and make things run smoothly. And I'm going to bring her to the screen before we introduce the other acts. And she's just going to tell you some stuff that's useful and interesting. And thank you for joining us, all of you that are new. It's really lovely that you've joined us. Cool. Welcome back if you've watched before, and hi if you're new. It's brilliant that you've joined us. I'm out for a minute. See, can't stop talking.
Hello.
I'm going to go away and stop talking.
Oh,
and
no,
you can...
don't go away. Let's share a stage.
You can take over. You can take over, Sarah. You can explain some stuff to people about other things, other stuff.
No worries. Don't leave me alone too long. Otherwise, I'll be the one talking forever because we are very similar.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's all right. I'll get an itch to yabber at people in a minute and I'll come back.
Good.
This is Sarah J, guys.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It is brilliant to see you here. I'm just going to adjust my camera very slightly. Love for Elastic, as Sarah said, is a neurodiverse comedy night. And normally, in pre-COVID times, we would be performing live in our fabulous studio theatre in Middle Street in Brighton. And we've been hosting Lava Elastic at sweet venues for quite a number of years now. Sadly, that is not possible in these physically distanced times, and so we've turned to online. As people are showing in the comments on both Facebook and YouTube, if you can show your love in the form of emojis, that would be brilliant, because that is one of the few ways that we have of having a response from people, because normally we'd have people laughing and clapping, but that is what your emojis are for. And just tell us what you're loving, tell us what you're enjoying, agree with us, disagree with us, it's absolutely, all of it is fine. We love to hear from you. I'll be looking after things on both YouTube and Facebook, and it'll be up to Sarah and our fabulous guests this evening to keep you amused and to keep you entertained throughout the evening. I will pop back at the end to say goodbye, because it's always a bit weird if you say hello and then don't say goodbye. I think that's mostly what I have to talk about. Hopefully Sarah is not too far. Other Sarah is not too far away. There you are.
It's all right. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Hi.
That was a little nerve-wracking.
Well done. That was really restrained, actually. You didn't talk too much about all kinds of other things.
I was being very restrained and very on focus.
Have we mentioned anything about the fact that if people would like to donate anything during the evening
we haven't yet.
The performers, just because should we just quickly give a bit of info about that? Should we?
Absolutely. Would you like me to
do that together? Let's do that together. So basically, this isn't a ticketed event, and that's deliberate. It's we're just happy to be bringing brilliant performers to you all, and doing our thing and stuff. Goodness knows we've all needed it, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Now that we're in semi lockdown, whatever this is now, who knows? we all need as much entertainment and fun stuff as humanly possible, really, I think,
Absolutely.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, so, having said that, there is a donate link just in case, because as we all know, the arts and I'd say 3/4 of the comedy industry have been, in fact, probably most of it, have been pretty much decimated in the last few months, which is bananas if you think about it. Um, and basically, this, if you would like to give a little something towards our performers and what we're doing, then that would be glorious. And if not,
Yeah.
it's just fantastic you're with us. It's awesome that you're watching and supporting us that way, all of us. The acts that
Absolutely.
are on tonight, yeah, it's the important thing, isn't it? It's wonderful that we've got audiences that are.
Well, they're very far flung. You know, we have people joining us from across the world, which is amazing, which we're loving to pieces, and it is one of the awesome things, awesome bits of serendipity that has come along with being able to take things online. But it also means that we don't have access to the same income streams through ticket sales, etc. In part because we want to ensure access for everyone. We don't want it not having the wherewithal to pay for a ticket be a block to you attending and joining us for the evening. But at the same time, if you do have capacity to pop into your pocket and your digital wallet and throw a few pennies our way, that would be hugely appreciated by everyone. Simply because, yes, the industry has been decimated and it's going to take us a fair old while to recover. And every little helps, and we'd really love that.
But if you can't, equally,
Exactly.
we're just happy to have you. Do you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah,
I'm going to put some funny people on.
that'd be awesome. I think you should.
I'm going to put some funny people on. So, Sarah, I'm going to see you in a bit.
You will. I'm going to go away and do my job.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm going to crack on with mine, which involves me stopping talking about random things and putting other funny people on for a bit.
Awesome.
It's hard to do, isn't it?
Absolutely. Take care,
Welcome
sweetie.
to PhD City.
See
you in a bit.
Bye.
Right, okay. We've got a first performer who is fab. So, like, really fab. So basically, I'm just going to go straight on with this now. No more of me. Our first performer tonight is sort of special because we've got Katy Perry. And there would be a round of applause if we were in a live room at that point. Yeah, we haven't really got Katy Perry. We've got someone that's pretending to be her. She is brilliant. So the her that she's pretending to be actually is kind of like, if you remember the 2008 nostalgic version of Katy Perry, that's who we've got next. This performance is in the style of a kind of public service announcement using the power of song. This particular lady started doing characters apparently during lockdown to sort of deal with her anxiety around Zoom calls. I know that I went through a phase in the early days of Zoom calls having that. I know other people have had it as well. So I'm just going to hand this over to her now. Less of me, more of her. This is the brilliant Victoria Dyson.
I got so great at washing hands for 20 seconds. It's felt so strange across the land. Scared of infection. It's not what we're used to. But I gotta try it once. Some fury just for you. Past my protection, I wore a mask and I liked it. Feel of that cheap elastic. I wore a mask, don't you try it. My new mustache, don't mind it. It feels so wrong, it feels so right. Not spraying droplets tonight. I wore a mask and I liked it. I liked it. Nothing will ever be the same. Worldwide disaster. Science experiments have claimed distance does matter. It's fabric to breathe through. No touching, just away. No one wants the bad flu. Just stop the spread. I wore a mask, I'm inspired. I look like a ninja sidekick. I wore a mask, it's required. Now I'm a sexy bandit. It feels so wrong, it's not alright. Not gobbling on you tonight. I wore a mask and I'm trying, really trying. These masks, they are so magical, so cute to wear. Mine's washable, hard to resist, uncomfortable. It's a food gate, like a diet. Ain't no big deal, just need a break. I wear a mask, it's required. Sometimes quite claustrophobic. I wear a mask, I conspire. It hides my halitosis. Worse than a thong, it's on too tight. Won't shop at Aldi tonight. This vital facial attire, mine's on fire.
I was muted then. That was Victoria Dyson. Do you know, well, it was Katy Perry and Victoria Dyson, really. And that was, as you will have noticed, that was I Wore a Mask and I liked it. I can't say that I agree with the sentiment, but I love the song. I struggle wearing a mask because I'm always too warm. So, but that was the brilliant Victoria Dyson. She's made other videos as well, actually. So if you check her out in the internet ether, then you can have a look at more of her stuff. It's kind of a treat to have Katy Perry on the show. Pretty special, really. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about lights just for a second before I'm going. Just you know, there's another fantastic performer coming up in just a few moments, but I did say that I like lights, so I'm going to share a little bit about them with you. I've kind of been obsessed with lights for more years than I realised. This sounds like some sort of light lovers anonymous sort of confessional. It's not that. I'll just share a little bit. I'm just going to show you one of my favourite lights at the moment, actually. So basically, big lights hurt my eyes or they're not comfortable, so I never switch big lights in the middle of rooms on if I can avoid it. And I know quite a few other people that feel the same way. I know it's kind of a thing for quite a lot of us, and particularly quite a lot of people on the spectrum seem to have this, where certain kinds of lights are actually really jarring. And for example, supermarket lights. I don't know if anybody else feels this about supermarket lights, but if I could walk around the supermarket in sunglasses, I would, except I'm the sort of person that would bump into everything as well. So it wouldn't be a good idea, actually. So it would be a health and safety issue. I have a lot of lamps and lights in my life that just you know, to kind of soften the edges of life in general, really, I guess. This is one of my favourites at the moment. I absolutely swear by these. And you too can have one in your life. Now we're on the QVC channel. This is the moon. I keep dropping the moon. This is the moon. And it has a remote control, so it changes colour. I'm just trying to put it in a place. Right, you can see it now. Yeah, so this is the moon, and it changes colour. I usually have it as a yellow moon. There. It's not floating, it's on a little stand. And it flashes on and off. It can be a disco moon, it can be a pink moon. I hope you can actually see the colour changes, or this is really redundant. And it just changes colour, basically. This is my latest light that I really do like a lot. I actually use it. This isn't just a prop. So yeah, you can have your own moon in your room, which is great. How cool are lights? Well, I think so, but I get really excited about them. I don't. Some other people do feel that way. I like light fittings, and lots of lovely people send me photos of light fittings from all over the place these days. I'd encourage more of you to do it, because I can't have enough photos of light fittings to share with you all. You can send them to Lava Elastic Facebook or me personally, or yeah, we'll put the info up so you can do that. I genuinely just think lights are one of the things that make life ace. So that's one of my things. I'm going to stop talking about them now, because I'd like to introduce a pretty fab lady. She's pretty ace. And what can I say about our next performer, Annie? So she is a performer with pretty versatile skills. She sings. She's an improviser. I mean, to be honest, I'd quite like to just see what happens and not say that much more. So I'm going to introduce to the screen Annie Harris.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
How's it going? What an intro. Thank you so much.
How are you? Oh, that's who you are.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really good actually. Yeah, I've just finished my own Twitch stream on my own channel and just quickly had something to eat, and now I'm back in front of my PC, and I'm really glad to be here performing at Lava Elastic for the first time. I've been a big follower and enjoying your stuff up until now, so thanks so much for having me.
It's a real treat for us to have you here. It's brilliant. Yeah. I want to get out of your way, Annie, and let you do your thing. I'm going to clear off.
Cool. All right.
It's
cool.
All
Whatever
yours.
That thing may be. Let's find out.
They're all yours. Yeah. Just do what you want.
Let's go for it. Okay. So, hi. My name is Annie. I am exactly as Sarah said. I'm a performer. I'm a trained actor. I was a trained actor. Then I got diagnosed with chronic pain and fatigue, and then got diagnosed with ADHD after that. So the elitist world of the acting industry didn't quite work out for me, but I'm making my own work now, and I'm so much happier. I do my own stream every Friday night on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Annie Harris. However, this is going to be my last stream or my last gig, which feels very strange to say as Annie Harris, because I have recently come out as non-binary / gender non-conforming / gender queer, gender fluid, whatever. And that's not something that Sarah knew about. I didn't tell her before this, so she hasn't misgendered me in any way. That's totally fine. My pronouns are still very much she as well as they. But I will be changing my name to reflect this. So you are here in front of this, in front of your screen at home, quite a momentous occasion, because this is my last gig performing under the name Annie Harris, which feels very strange, but also like the end of something. A door is closing and a window is being opened somewhere else, or an even bigger and brighter door is being opened somewhere else. So in the spirit of saying goodbye to that person, we're going to, I don't know, just like sing some musicals, I guess. We're going to have fun. We're going to chat. We're going to chat neurodiversity. We're going to chat silliness. Someone's put some non-binary hearts in the chat. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, is it Reese? Oh, hello, Reese, you lovely person. It's so nice to see you. So yeah, Let's just sing a musical. One of my favorite ones is from the musical Matilda. It's got major neurodivergent feels as well. I've just realized that I won't be able to play backing tracks. Normally what I do on my own stream is that I play backing tracks on my computer and it comes through here, but I can play backing tracks from my phone. So the sound quality might be a bit janky, but I mean, we'll work with it. It's fine. Okay, looking good, starting off really strong. Okay, let's do this. Let me know if you can't hear it or if it's like really terrible quality. Hang on, there we go. Hi, Reese. Hiya. Have you ever wondered, well I have, about how when I say red, for example, there's no way of knowing if red means the same thing in your head as red means in my head when someone says red, and how if we are travelling at almost the speed of light and we're holding a light, that light will still travel away from us at the full speed of light, which seems right in a way. But I'm trying to say, I'm not sure, but I wonder if inside my head I'm not just a bit different from some of my friends. These answers that come into my mind unbidden, these stories delivered to me fully written, and when everyone shouts like they seem to like shouting, the noise in my head is incredibly loud, and I just wish they'd stop. My dad and my mum and the telling and the stories would stop for just once. And I'm sorry, I'm not quite explaining it right, but this noise becomes anger and the anger is light, and this burning inside me would usually fade, but it isn't today. And the heat and the shouting, my heart is pounding and my eyes are burning, and suddenly everything is quiet. Like silence, but not really silent. Just that still sort of quiet, like the sound of a page being turned in a book, or a pause in a walk in the woods. Quiet. Like silence, but not really silent. Just that nice kind of quiet, like the sound when you lie upside down in your bed. Just the sound of your heart in your head. And though the people around me, their mouths are still moving, the words they are forming cannot reach me anymore. And it is quiet, and I am warm, like I said, into the eye of the storm. Thanks very much. Thank you. I love that song. It has such major neurodivergent feels to it. It's from the musical Matilda, which was written by Tim Minchin. I think the music and the lyrics in the book was written by Tim Minchin. And even though it's written about a child who has superpowers, I think that it's super, I mean, you heard the words, it's super neurodivergent. You know, these people around me, their mouths are still moving, but they can't reach me anymore. And I'm still and silent and quiet. When I first heard that song, I actually work as a singing teacher in sort of the What did chat say? You can't hear it, but I'm applauding. Thanks so much, Reese. Thank you, guys. Also, just to let you know that we have a young puppy. So if you can see like shadows and stuff moving around in the background, my apologies. That is my partner tending to our puppy and keeping him quiet while I'm performing. So if you do hear any random bursts of barking, that's my dog. Very sorry about that. But he's very cute, so maybe we can get him to come and say hi to you in a little bit. Yeah, so what was I saying? I completely forgotten what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'm a singing teacher, and I work with children who want to be in musicals, basically, and I train them to do that. And they love singing that song. And the first time I heard it, I was like, "This song is my song," even though it's written for like a 9-year-old girl. So I really, really enjoy that song. Next song I'm going to sing. Gosh, let's have a think. I really love musicals. I've always loved musicals. I've always been absolutely obsessed with them. And I just love like the cheesier the better. So I mean, what could be cheesier than a bit of Disney? Why not let's sing a little bit of Disney? Let's go for this. Okay. Also made a shout out to Sing King Karaoke on YouTube. They are basically where I get all of my backing tracks from. Don't want to get a copyright strike for you, Sarah. That would kind of suck. So here we go. Oh, a little click track. That's so kind. Thank you. Okay. Oh no, I've started way too soon. Oh no, here we go. Let's do it. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the, what's that word again? Street, up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they understand that they don't reprimand their daughters. Right young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above? Out of the sea, wish I could be part of that world. Yeah. I always end up doing like happy little stims whenever I finish songs that I really like. Oh, let's get the end of that. Hang on. Yeah. Happy little stims. Oh my goodness. Stim chat. I've been doing some stim chat quite a lot recently. Do a lot of I'm not much of a flapper. I don't know who else is much of a flapper. I'm not much of a flapper. I'm more of a fist shaker or a fist puncher. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I'm only really just coming to terms with using things like terms like stimming, using fidgets publicly, that kind of thing. I always tend to stim when I finish nice songs because it just makes me happy and shivery. So yeah, I think I'm approaching the end of my time now, which is sad, but also great because I've had a lovely time. I've got thinking putty. I don't know if anyone else has got thinking putty. I've got thinking putty in my desk. Sorry, I got distracted. Story of my life. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm coming to the end of my time now, which is really sad. I've had such a great time. It's been really lovely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a long journey. Me and Sarah both battling with our executive function to try and get me involved. Hello, you're muted, love. Don't forget. I was like, don't forget, you're muted.
Thank you so much.
It's all right, don't worry, it's totally fine. I would need exactly the same reminder. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a, I think it's as I say, it's been such a battle with both of our executive functions trying to get me organised and get onto the show, but I'm glad that it finally happened.
I think we did very well considering, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did okay. I know.
Can I apologise and just acknowledge that? Yeah. So Annie.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah. But can I just say one last thing before you scramoosh?
Yeah.
Before you go.
Yeah.
Just to compare notes, what you were saying about stimming.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were talking about me saying that I'd come out as non-binary. That's what you were apologising and acknowledging.
Yeah. So firstly, I was doing that.
I didn't tell you, and I deliberately didn't tell you because I was like, I don't want it to be. I want this to be my last gig as Annie. So I was like, I'll tell them at the gig and I'll say bye, and then that'll be it, kind of thing. So
well, I'm pretty thrilled that you chose to share it with us. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's great.
It feels like a good full circle moment.
Virtual
to
high
like,
five.
Yeah, right. Anyway, sorry. You were saying, stimming.
No. Finish saying that because it's really it's important stuff.
I found out recently that trans people and people who aren't cisgender are much more likely to. I think you liked the post on Facebook today. Trans people and people who aren't cisgender are much more likely to be autistic or neurodivergent, which I found really interesting.
It's the gender fluidity thing, apparently, isn't it? It's to do with the way that we feel and think about gender. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to do a lot more research into this.
I don't know.
I put it
I'm always learning.
Yeah, I put it in my I think I put it on my Facebook, the Neurodivergent Improvisers group, didn't I? Can I plug that super quick? Is that okay? You can. Yeah, so if anyone's into improv comedy, I run a Facebook group called Neurodivergent Improvisers, which is based, I just realised I'm looking at like 5 different cameras, sorry. If anyone is into improv comedy, then I run a Facebook group called Neurodivergent Improvisers. We're very new, we're just currently figuring out what we are, what we're doing. But last night we had a really great discussion about what's missing from the improv community in terms of accessibility for people with neurodivergence. So, or neurodiverse people is what I should say. Yeah, if you want to be a part of that, it'll be on my Facebook page, which has been linked in the chat. So you're very welcome to join. If you're interested in improv in any way, you don't even have to be good. You can just be interested in it, and you can be in there. So as long as you're neurodivergent. So yay, that was it.
That's pretty ace, to be honest.
I'm gonna get the link for it as well while you're talking. Carry on.
Brilliant. I'm not going to start on the subject of stimming, or we're not going to get to the rest of the acts because I could talk about the subject until it could be a day-long conversation.
Oh my God, same. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. So shall I let you skedaddle?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that sounds lovely.
You've got anything else you'd like to share?
No,
with us?
I was distracted by looking for my link, and I realised I should be concentrating.
Thank you for your beautiful. Yeah, isn't it? I know what you mean. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice on those ace songs. Songs I've not heard for a while. Thank you so much. A bit
of cheese. We need a bit of cheese in our lives, don't we?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the stuff I live on secretly.
All right, love. See you later.
Thank you. Thanks, Annie.
Bye.
That was Annie with some lovely songs and her gorgeous voice. I'm just going to say something really quickly about stimming. So stimming is something that people that are on the spectrum do, and apparently we do it. It's like it's an agitation thing, or when in my case, I've always done it when I've had excess energy. I can't get my words out. It's a bad English day today, apparently. So I really weirdly, so I got a late diagnosis, but stimming is very interesting because I did I had physical gestures that appeared from nowhere at certain times in my life that were kind of very sudden and appeared from nowhere. And I just automatically did them in what I realised looking back were times of massive anxiety. And I literally remember going, this is weird. What am I doing? This is new. Where's this come from? What's this then? And I found it really stress releasing, and it was at really stressful times. And when I got my diagnosis, I just realised this is like a thing. I just found out that lots of us do it. Lots of us do it, and it's called stimming. And we do it in a million different ways. Everybody just thought I was a fidget as a kid. And yeah, I do have ADHD, so I suppose hyperactivity disorder. Not surprising that I flap about a lot. But no, in answer to what Annie said as well, I'm not massively a flapper, but I stim in a million other ways as well. So there you go. You've learned something new if you didn't already know about it. Stimming. Really interesting, fascinating. Lots of us do it, particularly if we're on the autistic spectrum, mainly. So let's think. More comedy, or should I tell you more about lights? I think more comedy. We've got a performer coming up next who she's a writer performer, and it's her first time appearing on Lava Elastic, which is lovely for us, hopefully lovely for her too. So I would like to introduce the lovely Lorna V. Hi, Lorna.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Um,
It's so nice to have you here. It's so nice to have you with us.
this feels pretty weird, I have to be honest.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's like, but good weird, yeah. Because yeah.
I'm waiting for Tini.
Okay.
She's
Is she late? Is she late?
She's in the bathroom. There's a spider
in the bathroom.
She doesn't like spiders.
Oh my God, neither do I. Is she all right?
Corri for Tini.
Is she okay? Because I don't like spiders and I freak out when.
I'll just go and get her.
Okay, but is everything okay? Yeah. So there is going to be there was So I don't really know what's happening. I just know. Oh, hi.
Hello, I am Fotini.
Shall I get out of your way? How do you say your name before I go? How do you say your name, Fotini?
You are saying Fotini. If you can try and have a Scottish accent and say Fotini.
Oh, hang on. I need to hear that in my head. Fotini.
Almost there. It means bright in Greek.
Bright?
Yes, like the bright lights.
Like bright lights, like the sun and like bright lights.
Yes, it is somewhat ironic because inside I am not bright, but on the exterior I am.
So can I get your name right? Because it's really important to me to make sure that Fotini?
Fotini.
I'm really not doing this very well. I'll try one more time, and then I'm going to leave you to do your thing.
Go for it.
Fotini.
Yes, almost. The food saying like a Vietnamese soup, and it should be more as if you are singing an opera.
Okay. Fotini.
Yes.
No, that was really bad. Fotini.
Fotini.
I'm really letting you down here, aren't I? I'm really sorry. Fortini. This is,
Fotini.
you know how I said, I don't know if you heard this, but I was struggling with even being able to speak English earlier. So I'm doing quite a bad job of this. Will you please forgive me if I'll try and say it after when I see you after.
Do you want to try and say my surname?
Oh my goodness. Will you say your surname? But I'm not going to try and do it. Go on.
Amohostiani.
Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. And I'm just going to ruin it.
It is a very beautiful name because it means from the town of Famagusta, which is in Cyprus.
Famagusta. I can say that.
Yes, you can say Fotini Famagusta.
Fortini Famagusta.
Yes.
Yay! Thank you. You taught me that. I got that. I'm going to get out of your way. I'm going to stop spoiling your screen space. Thanks, Fortini.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello. I have an audience in my bijou flat of one. In this precise moment here, in this precise spot, a moth. And they, I have to confess, are trying to put me off because they, note I am very gender aware, they know that I am insect phobic. And I have progressed, because I am in recovery, from insect phobia to downright insect intolerance. So forgive me if I am darting this way and trying not to look. This is how I am. I just want to clarify, to present full disclosure. I am not a comedian, a stand-up comedian. I am not a stand-up comedian. I have bunions. And a comedian per se, well, I am a rambler. I have a runaway train brain, and forgive me, I will be going around the houses. This is how I am. Literally, actually, I go for walks around the houses because the trees, they give me the heebie-jeebies. Am I neurodivergent? I don't know. But I am excited because I am going to have the profiling. I am going to find out if there is a reason why I have always felt out of sync. Although at the moment, with all of my neuroses and phobias, I have a skill set. I am on trend. I can have conversations. I can join the conversation with the spring chickens and the autumn chickens. And I admire them. Actually, to be honest, I envy them because they are so open. And we saw this evening earlier with Annie. I was in awe. I meet the spring chickens and they are so able to say, oh, hello, my name is Rice and I am ambigender, tripolar, light ADHD, medium to rare, autism, and Welsh. And I cannot say anything. I am doing my best to come out. This is a recent journey of mine, because I want to say, I will try to say, I am a refugee. We 1974, we fled together. And I came to this country to study, and I became an accountant. Appearances are perhaps deceptive. Perhaps you did not imagine I am an accountant, but I was offered the job here, and I did not scaramouche back to Cyprus. I liked it here. I had a reputation for making moussaka, mincemeat, out of the HMRC inspectors. I was not frightened of them. I am frightened of insects, but not tax inspectors. And in the 80s, the music was fantastic. But in this pre-matcha, turmeric, lentil milk era, before the dinosaur era, it was a dinosaur era before even cappuccino, words like refugee and neurodivergence, they did not exist. And the term mental health, loony bin. Thankfully, fast forward, now in the Yotam Ottolenghi circles, we have an entire cookery genre of refugees. However, there is a mosquito now. I am going to definitely ignore this. I am not going to look this way. What was I saying? There is work to be done. We are activists, but we are facing a problem because my fellow autumn chickens, they are stuck in sourdough, and the winter chickens, they are intransigent, they are still eating coleslaw, and the roost is ruled by the damn cockerels, Boris and Trump. And we cannot all move to New Zealand. Too many bushes for me. And we have to beware the kaftans and crystal kombucha brigade, because they are very deceiving. I went on a socially distanced workshop. I clicked by mistake. Instead of heal your gut, I clicked heal your chakras. And there I am. I checked it was not a picnic because it said bring your own food, and I like a proper chair. And I ruffled the feathers, and a particular lady, she said that terms like that I wanted to use, like refugee and all of these other mental health terms, she said they were limiting beliefs. Thankfully, I had a mouthful of halloumi, and I could not say, speak for yourself, darling. She was flouting the vegan, carbohydrate free culinary travesty with diaper wrapped anemic leaves and the poo sprouts. I had my beautiful homemade Middle Eastern Mediterranean platter, and admittedly I triggered her. I offered her my pita bread. I have had it with specialty bread. I have broken the unconscious habit of a middle-class bougie lady. Finally, I am not a sucker. And this is very recent, so I am particularly proud of my progress. I went to the farmer's market, and I saw this dinky little loaf of bread, £4.50, and then the stall holder, she was grabbing the bread with her bare hand. I said, stop right there. I will instruct you, madam, in how to hygienically serve a loaf of bread. And when it came to paying, be the accountant's eye, £9. I said, have you charged me for 2 loaves? She said, no, it is £9 for 1 loaf. The display of the halves was to exhibit the goji berry interior design. And because in the lockdown, I have had a self-development spiritual project. I have been listening to Eckhart Tolle every day, and I have been trying to temper my reactivity instead of fueling my temper, because I want to be North European, monotone, but serious, fake, diplomatic. But the North European voice that came out of me in this moment was the underdog. I said, Cor blimey, love, what is it made of? Stone ground gold dust. I was quite proud. I walked off, unconscious pattern broken. You can probably imagine that before the pandemic, I had a wasp in my bonnet about the subject of hygiene. Everywhere I went, patisseries, bakeries, cafes, restaurants, art galleries. I was like an inspector. And November, nobody had heard of COVID-19. I went to the gym. I was like a bull in an artisan china shop. I summoned the gym manager. I said, this is null point hygiene. The viruses, they are spreading. They are having parties. They are having orgies. They are multiplying. They are taking over the globe. I predicted the pandemic, but I am not in any of the conspiracy theories because I have a complicated name, and these, bless them, these novice conspiracy theorists, they chose Bill Gates because it is an easy name, but they are in the kindergarten. They need to learn how to make the conspiracy theories from us Cypriots, because in Cyprus, we invented the conspiracy theory because we were always occupied, colonized, divided, ruled, constitutions imposed on us. So we became very good at this, and we are always right. This is in the declassified files of the British and the American governments. The moth is heckling me. I think I have offended the moth, and I can see from the corner of my eye the spider.
Are you okay, Fatini?
Spider.
Did I see?
The spider has reappeared.
Oh, it's not a big spider, is it? I don't like them either. I don't like them. Like I don't want to
face this way.
Okay. Are you okay?
I am overcoming my phobia.
Do you need to go? Do you need to go? Just because I would be freaking out. I would be freaking out if it was, you know. Can I say?
Spider.
It might encourage it to. Well, it might make it stay. It might make it stay. Is that a fish? I think it is. What was Fontini? Do you need to go? Are you okay?
I think she's gone now.
Okay. Can I just thank you for sharing?
But her music is still on.
Oh, Lorna.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. And Fontini, I think I might have miffed her a little bit, but I don't know. I think she had a good time. I just want to thank you for joining us. I'm still a bit freaked out by the thought of spiders. Honestly, people mention them and I have the visuals in my head, and yeah. I'm gonna let you go. If that's cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Bye.
Absolute pleasure. Come back again sometime.
Thank you.
You will, won't you? Thanks. Beware of the spiders and stuff if you're as phobic as she is, though, and me. Bye. Thank you. That was Lorna V. And I would try to pronounce Fontini's name properly, but I didn't do the best job of that. I'm going to practice that for the next time she appears on the show. I hate mispronouncing people's names. Do you know what? We have only got one more act of the night, but he's fantastic. So it's pretty great that even though there's just one more act, he's blooming awesome. I'm not going to talk about any other nonsense before I introduce him on screen. I'm just going to jump right into it and introduce a pretty great comedy performer, really. And his name is Joe Wells.
Hello. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. That was so sick the way you said on screen. I say on stage on the. I haven't got used to Zoom gigs yet, so I say on stage, and it doesn't make sense.
Believe me, I've done that as well. It's just been a bit of practice, and at times it was on.
Real gigs will come back.
What was that? Say that again.
We'll just get the hang of Zoom gigs, and then real gigs will come back.
Yeah, it is going to happen, isn't it? We're all going to be really au fait with performing on a screen, and then suddenly live performances will be happening, and it's like, how do I do this?
Is my mic okay? I've been having some mic problems on this laptop, even though it's a new laptop.
No, mic's great.
Okay,
Fab.
cool.
Really clear. All perfect. I'm going to buzz off and leave you to it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, Joe. Okay, I'm going to go.
I'll see you soon, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I'm never going to get used to Zoom gigs. They are completely bizarre. Usually, I am doing comedy in front of an audience, but I've got you there, and it's you can kind of heckle me in the comments, which is strange. And I am in bed at the moment because this is where the Wi-Fi is best in my house. So I feel like it gives this gig a kind of babe station vibe. But that's all. This is the only place. It's either be in bed or be somewhere where the internet is intermittent. So yeah, I guess my qualifications for being here are that I am an autistic man. I found out a couple of years ago. Weird situation. I'll explain how I found out about it. My mum. So here's some facts about my mum that you should know to give you some context for what I'm about to explain to you. My mum, she is mid-50s. She lives in a suburb of Portsmouth with my dad. They've been married for about 35 years now. She's really into parkour. In the mid-50s, she loves doing parkour at the weekends. She unironically believes that plants can sense guilt and therefore should be used in criminal investigations. She properly believes that, which was intense growing up as a child. My mum believing that. She'd say to me, Joe, have you brushed your teeth? And I'd say, yes, of course I have. And then my mum would say, well, that's not what this bamboo plant tells me. Fucking grass. And so it's a proper joke. That's the only joke that I'm going to have is fucking grass there. And my mum also has 2 pet rats, which she loves more than me. And I know that's a fact because I did material about her having 2 pet rats, which she loves more than me, at a gig. And she heckled me from the back of the room. And she said, that's not true, Joe. I've got 3 pet rats. So there you go. But she is incredible. And she also has this kind of, I think, is a kind of mum thing where she has no sense of what's important news and what's trivial news. She can't kind of like rank those things and kind of see what is urgent and what isn't. So she gave me a lift in her car about 2 years ago. And as I was getting out of the car, I cannot emphasize how casually she said to me, she said, Joe, have I ever told you that that you're autistic? And I said, no, you've never told me that, Mum. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not autistic. She said, yeah, you are. We've known since you were a child. I can't believe I've never told you that before. I was like, what are you talking about? I felt like that's an important thing to tell someone before they get to 30 years old. How could you have never told me that before, Mum? And she did a really good comeback. She then said to me, well, why did you think that I used to run that support group for parents of autistic children? I was like, yeah, it was a good point, Mum. Why did you do that? Should have put 2 and 2 together. She was running this group, but I didn't put the 2 together. I was never really paying attention to what she was doing. I was always very much kind of in my own head, focused on my own things, which should have been a sign, really. But then, so the short story is, I was never given a formal diagnosis growing up. I was seeing a therapist for some other things, and the therapist kind of said, definitely, I reckon, but I didn't get the kind of formal diagnosis. So as an adult, I had to have the formal diagnosis. You have to wait a year. I'm sure there's other people watching this that have had that process of just being on a waiting list for a year, and you don't get any, like, no one does anything. They just go, oh yeah, wait, and you go, oh, okay, I'll wait, and you can leave me with my thoughts. That'll be fine. But yeah, I'm sure lots of people took a year and they said, yes, you are autistic. I'm sure that lots of people have had similar experiences where it just explains so much, doesn't it? I've realized why I break pens. I've broken so many pens in my life because I just am fiddling with pens all the time, and I'm like the kind of Hitler of the pen world, the absolute. I've killed so many pens I can never be forgiven if pens are sentient. I've got my life is just a list of things where, like, I don't know if other people have had this, like, where you go, oh, is that part of being autistic? Like, one of the things I've realized, and I don't know whether other people can relate to this, but because I am a British man, I think British people are very sarcastic all the time. So sarcasm, I've never had an issue understanding sarcasm, but what I do have an issue with is picking up on sincerity, and when people sincerely say something positive or nice, because as British people, we do that so little that I cannot, it just throws me every time. So we'll be going to the cinema, and then one of my friends will say, oh, I've heard this film's really good. And I'll go, well, why are we seeing it then? I don't want to see a film. And they go, no, it actually is really good. I find that very difficult. Some other things that I wanted to tell you about. It's been a strange week for me because I did a bit of material at a club about my brother who is not autistic. He's very, very severely not autistic. He's got all the symptoms. Loves making eye contact. He's really into loud noises. Shit at maths. I know that I shouldn't say that because not all not autistic people are shit at maths. Some of them can be really good. With the right support, they can achieve anything. But I did this material about my not autistic brother, and went proper viral. It's had like 1 million views, and I don't know why. I don't know how to cope with it. It's been crazy. Then you kind of, and I shouldn't read the comments, but I do, and you get a lot of people kind of like, one of the things people were saying was that I can't be autistic because I do stand up, and I think that's the weirdest criticism, because if you think about what stand up is, if you had like a like a job spec for a stand-up comedian, what have we got to do? We've got to be able to have long one-way conversations. Those conversations have got to be heavily rehearsed. They've got to be on topics which interest you. You've got to be okay with going to a bar, but having your own special, separate, quiet room. You've also got to be able to be kind of rude to people and say inappropriate things. I've been training for this my whole life. I don't think that that even is a job description of a stand-up comedian. It's more of a diagnostic criteria. I fit it and meet it very well. What other things do I want to tell you about? I also, this was on the news broke as well. I don't think I'm scared to admit, because I've had this routine about me having my autistic brother. People are going, "Why is he really autistic?" Here's the truth, Brian. I'll just tell you, because this is a small online gig, and I don't want to get cancelled, but this is the truth, and I need to share it with you. I don't have a brother. I just made up. I made up my non-autistic brother so that I had to have kind of a sob story backstory, and everyone felt sorry for me for having a not autistic brother. I don't have a brother. I've got a sister who is severely not autistic, but I don't have a not autistic brother. But that is between us. I'm trying not to let anyone find out about that. Cool. They're never going to not be weird Zoom gigs. It's never going to not be strange. The fact that there's a camera here is the only thing between, like, it's very strange to do this. It feels like I'm talking to myself. I talked to you about sarcasm and sincerity. Did that? I was. Oh yeah. So this was a quick story. I can tell you about So I had waited a year for the formal diagnosis, and I went a bit. I believe the clinical term is mad in that year. And I went, I had lots of anxiety issues and did cope well. But then when I had the diagnosis, I saw my mum like a few days afterwards. And I hadn't seen her for a few days, spoken because her rat had a baby. And she had to deal with that. But I saw her and she asked me about the diagnosis. She said, "Well, did you have the assessment and what did they say?" And I told her that I was autistic, and she said, "How do you feel about that?" And I hope this isn't oversharing. It feels strange just to say this to strangers on the internet, but I kind of said like that I felt okay about it, but also that it wasn't as important as I'd kind of pinned everything on. I spent a year kind of pinning everything on that, where I went, as soon as I get this will fix everything. And I realized that I had pinned everything on that because I wanted to kind of excuse being different. And I don't think you should ever do that. And I think that was one of the mistakes I made, was feeling dependent on a diagnosis to excuse difference. Naturally, you should have the purpose of the diagnosis should be to go, look, this is the way in which I am different, and that's brilliant. And I told my mum this, and sometimes, like, when I want to make sure I get things right, I kind of cover my face. I just like my eyes more than anything, just because I want to kind of I don't know, it just helps me focus. And so I couldn't see my mum, but I kind of poured my heart out to her, and then I heard my mum's voice, and my mum said, someone's put in the comments, do say the rat had a baby. Yes, my mum's rat did have a baby, that making them 3 rats. That's why I hadn't seen her for a while. She had to spend time nursing the baby rats. We couldn't go around the house because it was a long thing. So I poured my heart out to my mum, eyes covered, and I couldn't see my mum, but I could hear my mum's voice. And my mum said, I remember this so clearly, she said, "You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are beautiful and you are clever. You are beautiful and you are clever, and you both have lovely tails." And I realized that she stopped listening to me because someone more important had come into the room. But that's fine. That's what happened when my mum found out that I was diagnosed autistic. I will I'm doing. You follow me on all social media. I'm tagged into all the things. I'm doing a new show at the Fringe. Hopefully next year. I want to call it "Everything Is an Attempt to Be Human." I know that's really wanky. It's a William Blake reference. Everything is an attempt to be human. But I like William Blake, and a lot of his stuff's kind of open to interpretation. And I think that everything's an attempt to be human. To me, that's like a kind of like sarcastic joke. Like he's saying, we all try, we all feel inadequate, we all feel like we're trying to be fully human, but we know that we are human. So everything that's an attempt to be human, it's like a kind of it's like a joke, isn't it? It's like a kind of joke from William. Like, it's not something that I should have closed on, but I like it, and it's from William Blake. Good. This has been. Zoom gigs will never not be weird, but and usually this is the thing. I've got such like the little bits, the kind of live performance. I've got rehearsed, and they do not work on a Zoom gig. So in my head, I've got a thing that goes, "You've got to say they've been a lovely audience." I mean, it's been fine. I don't think people have like unwatched. There's been no abuse, but I can't say whether you've been a lovely audience. But I've been imagining you all in your own homes being a nice audience, and that is good enough for me. In my mind, I'm imagining you in your own homes, and you're all giving me a standing ovation, and so it's been brilliant. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me, Sarah. Thank you for Lava Elastic. And Sarah's coming back. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Joe. I think they're all giving you standing ovations as well.
Yeah, I reckon. That is what I reckon.
And I was laughing loads, and it made my face hurt, and that doesn't always happen. So that's
is that good to hear that you've hurt yourself?
Well, the thing is, it's one of my yardsticks of when people make me laugh a lot. If my face hurts or I start having a coughing fit during live shows, that's usually how it means I've really enjoyed something, and my face hurts because I laughed a lot. So, in lieu of knowing that.
Because you are British, is that right?
I am, yeah.
Do you have something with sarcasm and sincerity?
Yes. So I actually rarely believe people are being serious when they say really normal, sincere things. So I've often, I don't know if it's partly a paranoia thing, but I used to very majorly just not believe when people gave positive feedback or something. I think I sensed sarcasm where it wasn't there, if that makes sense.
In our culture, we are so sarcastic that's the default, isn't it? So I think if you can't, that kind of subtle nuance of actually this person's being sincere. I remember doing a wonderful gig at the Bracknell Comedy Cellar, and my agent at the time said to me, "It's probably the best gig in the country," and dreading it the whole day because I assumed that no one would say that sincerely.
So you just thought it was going to be the worst gig ever?
Yeah, because he said it would be. And I have learned that people say the opposite of what they mean.
It is something that's been a problem for me over the years as well, like massively. I basically just literally.
Is it a British thing, or do you think Americans, because they're very earnest Americans and say what they think, or they're less sarcastic than us? Do you think?
Unless they're trying to sell you things.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I'm from up north, and people have senses of humour that are delivered very deadpan, in a very deadpan way quite often. So that's quite, I personally know that I have quite a poker face sense of humour in normal life. There's a lot of people on here that make me laugh, so I'm actually probably lighter energy-wise than in normal life. I know that I'm quite deadpan, and people don't know that I'm joking. So
the sarcasm divide.
There kind of is, that's a really good, it's a good way of putting it. There kind of is. But I find it hard to know what people mean anyway. I totally get that. I'm sorry to hear about your mum and the rats, because my mum used to I used to say my mum would swap any member of our family for a cat any day of the week.
My mum does love you very much, though. It's just the intensity with which she loves those rats is beyond anything. So I totally
understand that. I do understand it.
This is me being not quite as loved as the intense love that she feels for, what's essentially vermin.
But they're very clever vermin, to be fair.
They are. They're very sweet.
They are. They're very smart vermin. Yeah, no, my mum is not a terrible mum at all. She's a wonderful mum. However, cats pretty much trump every other human, no matter how much she loves us. So I kind of get it. Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to let you go if you want to.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us. It was really, really lovely. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for joining us. Bye, Joe. Bye. I'm going to let you out. That was Joe Wells. He was the last act of the night. I know. I'm kind of shocked too. I'm just filling in the gaps at this stage because you can't verbally reply in any way. So I'm very distracted. I'm sorry. It's the chat, you see. It's lovely to see that people are chatting, but I find it really difficult to focus on what I'm saying because there's an interesting chat going on the screen. What I'm going to do is centre myself as we come to the end of the evening and just say it's been really, really awesome that you all joined us. I don't mean it in like an awesome surfer dude kind of sense. I mean it in the purest sense of the word awesome. Like, it's kind of special that you joined us as a lovely audience. We know you were lovely. We saw that you were out there. Thank you for supporting us just doing our thing. And the acts you've seen tonight have been, first of all, we had Katy Perry, aka Victoria Dyson. Then we had the brilliant Annie. I'm not going to add. No, I'm not going. Annie. We had the brilliant Annie, who sang some lovely songs and was just generally ace. And then we had Lorna V and also Fottini. I still can't pronounce her name properly. I'm really going to have to work on that. I hate being a mispronouncer. I don't know if it's a word. And then we also had, just last but really not least, the lovely Joe Wells. I have been and am Sarah Saeed. And of course, the lovely Sarah J, who has been helping with doing everything so that I could just waffle nonsense all evening, basically. I know, I'm going to bring Sarah J in just to say bye. I'm then going to introduce you to one very important extra being that's part of Lava Elastic now, called, I've named this octopus Otis, and I'll tell you a little quick story about Otis, and then we're going to all be free to go and do whatever we choose to do with our Friday evenings, whatever that may be. No judgment. We're just humans doing stuff. I'm going to bring Sarah J in, and then I'm going to stop talking about other things other than octopi and let you go. You're not a captive audience, let's face it. You can just switch me off. I do know that, really. It's true.
It is very true.
I'm sure they have. It's possible. Right. So, Sarah, thanks so much for doing everything smoothly.
Everyone has been lovely. Everyone's been lovely in the YouTube chat and in the Facebook Live chat. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much for participating, making us feel loved for the work that we do. It's really appreciated. And I've slipped the link into both chats for PayPal. If you find yourself with a few extra pounds in your digital wallet, if you may throw them our way, we would be ever so grateful. And we do appreciate it. If you are not able, then we are just grateful that you have been able to give us your time and your space and your attention, and we are thoroughly grateful for that too. But yes, it's been a wonderful evening, And yes, we get to meet the newest team member. Yay, it's Otis. Yay.
Shall I introduce Otis and let you go now, and then I'm going to go as well.
So
Right.
actually, sorry, very quickly, 2 things. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you could subscribe to our channel so you will find out when we're doing stuff next. If you're on Facebook Live, please do like our Facebook page, and likewise you will get to find out everything that we're doing and what's coming up. We've got stuff coming up for Brighton Fringe. We've got stuff going on next year, which will be terribly exciting. We'll make lots of announcements about that when it all comes to be. And
can I just add in
yes,
that the Brighton Fringe shows are technically meant to be live shows. They are live shows unless we all hear something different, but
absolutely.
they are live shows basically.
At this point, they are very much live shows. So if you're able to physically join us in Brighton, oh my goodness, it would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful to see you. But otherwise, keep an eye on our various social media for stuff that we're doing. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks.
Bye.
I'm gonna set you free now. Thank you. So we've come to the end of the evening, except so this is Otis, and the reason why Otis the octopus is really special is I got Otis through the post at the beginning of the week, and I knew that Otis was coming to join me at some point. Because he was made for me by a very lovely lady who in actual fact was the first female that ever spoke to me when I came off stage after doing my first performance in front of an audience as a newly diagnosed autistic female. So I used to find it very difficult when I was younger to perform without the mask, shall we say. So I couldn't get up on a stage just as Sarah. However, I was doing that at an event in Reading, I think it was. And then this lovely lady came up and had a chat with me quickly afterwards because she has a daughter on the spectrum. And we stayed in touch ever since. And she's brilliant. She's just lovely. And she knits these incredible octopi. I think she started knitting them in lockdown. And I sort of fell in love with one of them on Instagram. I went, oh, love that. and she made one for me. I'm not going to name her because I think that would be a bit cheeky, unless you wanted me to, because I'm going to say it in English. You might want an Otis of your own. He's kind of lovely. I'm a little bit addicted to him. It's the equivalent of my lockdown puppy. I got a lockdown octopus instead, which I'm totally cool with. And obviously because of the way that he came to me and us, that means that he's part of the team. That means that he's kind of like the lava elastic. I can't speak English. Lava elastic mascot. That's what he is, really. I'm not going to assume he's a he, actually. Otis is just Otis. And Otis sort of rocks. So from all of us, thank you very much for joining us. Ellie, the lady who made this beautiful little octopus, is called Ellie, and it's an autistic octopus, according to Ellie, which is great. It's brilliant. Yeah, I love this one a lot. It was very special to get that through the post when I came home the other day. It kind of made my day, actually. So on that note, thanks so much for joining us. If any of you like light fittings as much as I do, please feel free to check out my Instagram. So Lava Elastic is on Instagram, but also at Barb Sarah. I don't know if maybe we can write that in the chat, perhaps. I just have lots of light fittings as well as other stuff, obviously, but I do like light fittings and lights and fairy lights and sunsets. But if you like that sort of thing as much as I do, feel free to follow me. Definitely in the virtual world. Don't follow me in the actual world. I have quite a lot of social anxiety. So, just saying. You've all been awesome. And the acts have been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. tuning out. See you soon. We'll be back online in November. We'll be back in the Fringe, physically in rooms. Watch our social media space. Have fantastic weekends, all of you. See you later. Bye.